in?
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Nicole, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you as well. I've seen you since the conference.
I know.
Did
Please
you enjoy
have
your
seat.
time? Thank you so much.
Oh, I did. I stayed there the whole 3 days, and I normally don't stay that long.
Oh, great. I did too.
Yeah.
The lectures were so wonderful this
Mhm.
year. I thought they were really insightful.
Yeah, I came back and I told all my sales reps about it, and they got a lot of information out of it too.
Great. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So before we even begin, I'm going to go ahead and give you my business card.
Perfect.
So
Thank
you
you.
can have that for future reference. So I know we talked a little bit about your company during the breakout session.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your current CRM system and kind of some of the issues that you're facing currently. So I know we said that you're having some issues with inputting data. Some of your data is not correct. So therefore it's kind of influencing your customer relationship.
Yeah.
Which is for sure that's a problem. I know you talked on that a little bit. And so I would really like to go a little bit more in depth about these issues. I set up here an agenda because I know your time is pretty limited.
Yeah.
So here's what I was kind of thinking we could talk about today.
Mhm.
First, we can start with maybe a little introduction so I can just learn a little bit more about the issues that you've been facing and a little bit more about your company. Maybe go over some needs and benefits and how exactly Salesforce can actually help these issues that you've had. And maybe, if we have some time at the end, I would love to go over a demo with you so you can actually get your hands on the product and see how Salesforce looks and get the feel for it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Does this seem like a good use of your time today?
Yes, very good.
Okay, awesome. So before I begin, is there anybody else that you would like to have in this meeting?
Nope, just gonna be me today.
Okay, so I see here we do have about 20 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes. Got a flight to catch.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I understand. It's a busy life. So, do you mind if I take notes during this meeting?
No, go ahead. I'll be taking some myself.
Okay, perfect. So, I wanted to go off and start off by asking you some questions so I can just kind of understand the CRM issues that you're having right now. So just to kind of get a little bit better of a picture here, are you still operating with about 99 salespeople?
That sounds about right. We have about 11 regions, and then between our sales managers and our sales representatives, that would be an accurate number.
Okay, perfect. And so I see that you actually have had a lot of growth over the last year, so that's really great.
Yes, we have.
Over the last 5 years, wow.
And we continue to grow.
Awesome, that's fantastic. So I see that you've had some current issues with your CRM system, such as disorganization, some visibility that you really need to work on, some behind the scenes issues, and that you are really wanting to work with that current client database system. Could you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, so we have several departments, but really our sales department and our marketing department are what we're focusing on right now. They need to work together more cohesively, but right now they're so isolated from one another that it's causing problems with our company.
Gotcha. I can definitely see how that would be an issue. We really want to make sure everybody is all connected. So as I mentioned earlier, you have experienced a lot of growth over the last 5 years, which is absolutely excellent. So how has your current CRM system kind of been keeping up with that growth? Like, how has everything been going?
It's kind of lacking, and in my opinion, it's holding us back. Like I said, we're not communicating within our departments, so our salespeople don't know what's happening in the marketing trends in the market. And then our marketing department is unsure of what's working for the sales team and like what they're actually contributing to the company.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see how that would be a really big issue for you guys. So you mentioned that American Pipe Construction Company needs a way to kind of collaboratively share information and save client and sales details.
Yes.
So, in between your external and internal sales teams. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, based on this growth, how have your sales representatives, been tracking this information? How's that been going?
With our current CRM system, they have to manually input it, which it can be a pain and very taking up a lot of their time. Some of them don't even use the CRM system because it's so hard to use, it's so time consuming, and then it's just causing a lot of conflict with our sales representatives.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see how that would cause a lot of conflict. When it comes to time, you want to make sure everyone's using their time efficiently. So
Yes.
I could see how that would be a problem. So you mentioned that you were actually having issues with inputting data as well. Are you having incorrect data problems?
Yes, so I don't know if our sales reps are being rushed or if they're just being careless, but we have so many issues varying from they're not writing the right appointment time, so some are showing up at wrong times or wrong days, and that's embarrassing not only for
Right.
the sales representatives but also for the company as a whole. They're not inputting the right sales amount into it. It's just not matching up to what it should be.
Right. Based on the research that I personally did on your company, is you guys really are centered around those customer relationships, and that's really kind of your core values, is that you really like to focus on that interaction, enhancing their experience in any way, making sure that they're comfortable and happy with their product. So I can definitely see, where the issue is there. You want to definitely build that brand and strengthen those relationships with your clients.
Exactly. I feel like our salespeople, that's what they want to do as well, but with the CRM system we have, they just can't successfully do that while also doing what needs to be done for the company.
Yeah, for sure. It's important to keep a great relationship with customers.
Mhm.
The customer is the main priority, as you,
Yes,
I'm
I
sure,
agree.
already know. So, and especially as your company really continues to grow and accumulate more clients and more orders, you want to make sure that those orders are correct and
Yes.
everyone's on the same page. So you definitely will need a reliable CRM system.
Mhm.
So how much time per week is wasted, would you say, kind of searching for information or, scouring out, going through false information, things like that?
I would have to say, like I said, we have about 100 salespeople in our company, and they at least waste probably an hour each. And so it has to be at least 100 hours a week alone, at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
Sounds like it adds up over time, which
Yes.
can definitely cost a lot of money on your end. And you also mentioned previously that it was kind of causing some miscommunication between departments,
Mhm.
both internally and externally. So, even between departments and between client and salesperson. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the miscommunication between the salespeople, so sometimes they switch territories or sometimes they do something different and they don't have the accurate information from the previous salesperson. The marketing team doesn't have what the salespeople have, like the amount of sales that they've done or what they are doing to sell, and then the salespeople don't understand what's happening in the market. But then again, the marketing department can't figure that out without the sales information. So it's a continuous loop of
Right, and everything is so
miscommunication.
intertwined. Everything really fits together.
Exactly.
So one, department kind of lacks it. It can easily show in another department. So it's definitely interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned a little bit about your marketing department specifically. So how has it helped or impacted their ability to kind of track trends? There's a lot of disorganized information. So I hear, has it kind of inhibited your growth in any way? And has it inhibited you from kind of making changes that your marketing department wants to make?
Yeah, because I think it has. We could be growing more if we were better communicating. I think that the marketing department is just not getting the information, like I've said, and so they're not able to track the trends. They're getting the data from the years before, which is not what's currently happening, so they don't have a current, fresh perspective of what is happening within our company and within the market, which is affecting us in our growth.
Yeah, sounds right. Has this impacted, you said a little bit about customer satisfaction. Has that impacted your revenues based on that customer satisfaction, or have you experienced any issues with that recently?
Oh yeah, of course. When they show up at the wrong times and when they're not actually listening to the customers and inputting the right data, we're losing customers, of course.
So, if you could kind of guesstimate or take a wild guess, how many clients would you say that you have lost based on, or just simply because of missed orders or any kind of dissatisfaction with the company?
I feel like the number could be close to 100 a year, which is embarrassing on my part for my company.
Yeah, so I did do a little bit of research here, just kind of based off the numbers that I found and the numbers that you've kind of given me since we've been emailing back and forth. I see that you've lost about $2 million due to this lack of communication and this issue with your current CRM system. So does this number sound about right to you?
Yes, it could even be more than that if we're being honest.
Gotcha. So, even based on time, how much time you would say by implementing a system that can promote communication through a uniform database for client information, I'm sure it would save you a lot of money just based on the time for your employees that it takes your employees to kind of scan the whole system. So it really does sound like an electronic tracking system would really help your company as it is right now. It sounds, based on the problems that you've had, it sounds like Salesforce would actually be a really good fit for you, and you and your company. Salesforce could really help you streamline that growth that you've been experiencing over the last 5 years, and really help that order process kind of give you a more clear idea and give those order details so that there's no miscommunication about what's going on in the delivery process. Kind of really help you connect those internal and external sales teams, your marketing department and your sales team, kind of help them kind of be on the same page. So based on that, that being said, I would love to show you a little bit about how Salesforce works and kind of let you physically see what's going on in the product itself. Is it okay if I come over and show you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I love the hands-on experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely helps. Okay. So here is Salesforce. You can see it's very detailed, very clean, so everything has a place, and that's very nice for those sales teams that are kind of dealing with that disorganization and don't really know where to look for certain numbers. So that's a really good thing. Everything has a tab, everything has a place. It's separated by color, and everything is labeled, so that's very nice.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, you struggle with easily accessing and kind of inputting that client information. If you look at this tab right here, you'll see where all of this is made easy for employee use. So, those sales teams and the marketing, they're both going to benefit from this. So you can manage accounts, activity, you can clearly see all of the client information just clearly labeled and laid out for you. So you can go ahead and actually you can take over for a little bit here and explore if you would like.
Oh wow, there's so many different tabs. I didn't realize the CRM system could have so many things of value.
Yeah, there's actually there's a lot that goes into it, and all of these different things are very useful. And once you kind of explore a little bit more into it, you can see there's so many different aspects. And also your updating tracking system can be replaced with this digital system, so which is accessed through this part of the website.
Perfect. This is so easy to use.
So all this information can really be shared throughout the different departments. So talked a little bit about the marketing department and how they're having issues with some of those trends, and seeing those profit trends and things that their customers are really into at that point in time. So sales numbers can also be seen within the marketing department, which if you click on this tab right here. So you mentioned they were having trouble tracking problem and success areas within the company and within the client base. So here you can see the different product trends. There are revenue trends and profit trends per month, and you can compare the strengths and weaknesses of all those of your business. It pulls the data automatically, so it doesn't have to be done by an employee. So you're not going to have to deal with that loss of information or information that might be wrong because of human error.
So could this be seen throughout the different departments, or do they each see what or they each have an individual view? Or?
It can be seen throughout the different departments. So each you can see right over here. So even if you go to the marketing tab, you can see what marketing would see based on things that they deal with on a regular basis. You also can see sales over here. So your sales team will be able to access all of these tabs and understand, kind of help with that communication barrier, so they can each see what the other one is doing and kind of what's going on, so that there's not that lack of communication there. There's not that barrier that you've kind of been experiencing recently. And I know you spoke about the manual entry, which has definitely been a problem for you guys with that inputting wrong data. So we have a really effective order processing. It's automatic. So when you are, your salesperson is with a client and they want to input data, they can go ahead and do that, and it will automatically update, so you don't have to deal with that wrong data.
Yeah, so what if they didn't have their computer with them? Is there a way that they can input the data in a different way?
Yeah, so something that's very cool about Salesforce specifically is that they actually have a mobile application. So a lot of CRM systems don't really have that. which is it's very nice because, you know, when you don't have a computer, everyone always has their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually use Salesforce on your phone, and it's specifically designed for a mobile application. So everything is very clean cut, very detailed. It's very clear picture, so that you don't have to scroll through a bunch of different tabs and waste time with your client trying to, you know, scour for some kind of information. It's just everything is laid out for you very nicely.
That'll be so much easier for my sales reps.
Especially, you know, sales reps, they travel so often,
Mm-hmm.
so you know, you're not always going to have a bulky computer on you
Yeah.
and have, you know, what if it dies or what if something happens, you know, you're in an airport, it can always kind of create a problem. So having that mobile application is a very popular aspect of Salesforce. So you can also see here that you mentioned that you kind of are having issues with appointments, that sometimes, you know, appointments are lost, or your clients show up for something and your sales team is not actually sure, you know, where to go. You can actually record your appointments on this tab right here.
Nice.
And you can go, you know, time and where you're meeting, which client, so that everyone is on the same page, and you're not going to have to deal with those loss of customers just because of a missed appointment.
Wow, that will save us so much time and probably money too.
Absolutely.
So this looks really good and everything. It seems easy to use, but I feel like we wouldn't be able to experience all of it, like figuring it out on our own. Is there a way we can learn, like you can teach us, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So a really cool thing about the company itself is that we offer training programs for managers and your salespeople, so that everyone can really understand every aspect of Salesforce. You know, we don't just want, you know, a customer only using one specific feature of it because that's all they know, when there's so many other features and so many other benefits that they could be using. So we go through this extensive training with them, and to make sure you set them up and make sure they understand every tab, and you know, here's the marketing tab in the Salesforce, and here's how you can look at each one and understand what's important in each aspect. So that's a really cool feature as well.
Okay, so even after you do the training, what if we have issues with this? Is there a way we can contact someone, or?
Yeah, so you can call us anytime. We'll set up another training session. It's kind of like a class that you can go through where you can really get those questions answered with, you know, somebody that really knows what they're talking about. The last thing you ever need is to go on the phone and be on some automated voice call that's, you know, sometimes not helpful and a waste of time as well. So we definitely want to make sure that you are with somebody who knows what they're talking about, has dealt with Salesforce multiple times and knows every detail of it inside and out, so you really get that experience, so you know what's going on. And especially as a manager, you know, it's nice to know that all of your salespeople are fully informed about the CRM system.
That's nice. I mean, this all looks really good and it looks very high end, so that makes me concerned to ask how much it would cost my company.
Sure. So let me lay it out for you here. So for the level of Salesforce that's most appropriate for your company, it's going to be about $300 per employee per month. So you said there's about 99 Salesforce employees, or your sales employees, so not including your marketing team. It's going to be about 300 times that 99 that we mentioned earlier. So that brings us to about $29,700 here. So annually, we're going to be looking at about $356,400.
Okay, that number seems quite large.
If you look at it compared to this $2 million that we mentioned earlier, which is just the $2 million based on, you know, that loss of client information, or, you know, any issues that we've kind of talked about with your CRM system, that would be the $2 million plus the time wasted for, you know, employees having to scour for information or find, you know, things that aren't there, or locate, you know, all over the CRM system. So that is going to cost you as well. So when you lay it out, the $2 million is actually your least amount that would be cost.
Yeah, you're right.
Compared to that $356,400.
Yeah, I mean, I see the value now when you put it that way.
For sure. So Salesforce can really help you increase those sales and order generation and processing. You know, a similar client has actually come to me recently that I met with, who has a similar company as yours, and kind of had some of the same issues with her past CRM system. And so she implemented this system and actually ended up saving about, you know, 30%, and saw that increase in product revenues. She also, it helped her with her orders, making sure that the orders all the way through are, the details are correct, and that the development and processing is perfect and flawless, and actually saved about 18 hours per week on the inside sales and save 30 hours per week on outside sales, which is comparable to the result that you would see if you implemented Salesforce.
Wow, that's crazy to think that we wrote that much.
Yeah. So I'm really glad I could walk you through this. It's been a really big pleasure. So I definitely can tell there are some issues that are hindering your growth, and I want to see your company excel as much as you do. So what do you think about Salesforce moving forward? Does it seem like a good?
I like what I saw today. Unfortunately, I'm not the deciding person on this. But my CIO should be in town next week if you're available to present the same presentation to him.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So I did bring along just kind of a standard contract for you. So if you just kind of want to look over it and see if it looks okay, we can talk about it later, and you can show whoever you need to, and you can kind of talk about it, and we can bring it back up next time.
Okay.
So you said he will be back next week. How can I put you on the calendar for sometime next week and we'll meet?
Yeah, I think I'm free Tuesday.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, perfect. So let me see. Tuesday looks great. Would maybe 1 o'clock work for you? Maybe like a lunchtime talk?
That'd be
Awesome.
great.
So if you wouldn't just mind signing here to say we went over the details and everything.
All right.
Perfect. So thank you so much for your time. It was absolutely a pleasure.
It's great to see you.